Amazon is like the gorilla in the e-commerce world. So customers in the US, I think something like 58% of all online product searching starts with an Amazon search. If they're looking to shop, they go to Amazon. It's just like there's no plan B. This is just where people buy their household products. But increasingly, businesses are doing a lot of their business buying online. They've just got the company credit card, and that stuff just turns up for free the next day. So Amazon is a really interesting company. I've got a slide coming up where I sort of talk a bit more about what they're doing as a business themselves, but why it's relevant for New Zealand companies and why now. So Amazon's basically the everything store. There's actually a book written about the founder and the story of Amazon called The Everything Store. They really want to cover and absolutely dominate every consumer niche that there is. So they have automotive and beauty products, clothing, cell phones, home and garden things, sports. This grocery and gourmet food's interesting, and I'll come back to that in a moment as well. The health and personal care products, and it's got over 50% of the USA retail consumer spend. So they are just enormous. Online, sorry, yeah, online. So they're a big, big aggressive company, but they're also, in a funny sort of way, really well liked. So they don't play nicely with other businesses at all, but customers vote them their #1 most trusted brand, and they're absolutely rocketing. So this is actually all of e-commerce, not just Amazon's growth. That is Amazon's growth. Okay, that's Amazon's growth. So that's coming up for 136 million by 2000, billion in 2000, sorry, Hamish. I think you might have made the slide. Billion by 2016, and that's just not showing any signs of slowing down. So Amazon's empire, they really are an empire, and the founder, Jeff Bezos, is this kind of iconoclastic, pretty eccentric character. He was the founder sort of 22 or 3 years ago. He had like a dusty secondhand bookshop in his garage in Seattle, and he's still the brains behind the operation. And he rules with a pretty kind of iron fist. He's a very sort of dictator sort of style leader. They don't win any awards for company culture, but they play a really, really long game. If they want to get into pets, they will buy up all the startups. They'll outprice everyone. They'll just crush the competition. And then when they're broken and bloody, they'll buy them up, and they did that with a big company called Diapers.com that had online baby supplies and nappies and things. And if they want to get into a niche, they just do it. They just bought Whole Foods Market, which we'll talk about a bit more later, and how that's a really interesting new position for New Zealand businesses. But they're pretty smart. So they've got these enormous warehouses where they do their fulfillment of products out to customers. But they've diversified their income, and they've got lots of different businesses within this empire. So they've got media content. They're winning Oscars for Amazon Productions. They've got the logistics business, and that's not just their warehouses and robots and forklift trucks. They're buying shipping lines. They've got drones. They've just set up this new warehouse in Utah that on the traditional model would have 1,000 employees, but it's got 100 because it's all done with robotics and artificial intelligence. They've got service, so some of the world's biggest companies are hosted on Amazon servers, and they're really well trusted. You cannot imagine how much data these guys are sitting on, both what those companies are up to, but also consumer spending habits. And they're by far, I can't remember, like by 2.5 or 3 times the biggest Facebook ad buyer in the States. So amazing data. They don't share all that data with you if you're selling on their platform, but you get some really, really good stuff to look at. Then they've got this other thing called Amazon Prime, and this is like their membership club. So you pay an annual fee, and then you get to enjoy free 2-day shipping as a customer. And that's great because they get a lump of cash each year on Amazon Prime Day when they do lots of promotions and say instead of it being $99 a year, it's $69. I actually had a little spike of sales because they often promote products to have a massive shopping day for Amazon Prime Day. I did $55,000 US in an hour selling those woolly dry balls, which was a good day. And so they've got these Prime members who just buy everything on Amazon. They spend 2.5 times more than the average Amazon customer just because they get in the habit. They just click and order everything off Amazon. And then they've got this sort of interactive IT stuff going on at home, the Amazon Echo, the Amazon Dot, Alexa. So these are all these interactive tools at home where you can reorder your products, or like they're kind of equivalent to Apple's Siri, something sort of interactive to talk to at home. They've even got things that you can consult your outfit for the day, stand in front of something and you get some feedback from some fashion people. Like, it's just pretty kind of intrusive in some ways, but just all encompassing every part of life. As a US consumer, there's some Amazon tentacle in there somewhere. So they've obviously started off as a Seattle company, spread out through the US pretty quickly and pretty aggressively, but they are now in lots of other countries as well. We've got a slide with some more on that coming up, but when they go into a new market, they don't muck around. They spend whatever it takes to be top dog. They don't want to be jostling with someone else for long. They'll just go in with a really, really aggressive launch plan and just get a huge amount of the market share, however they need to do that. And so they've just got this incredible track record. There's not many companies like them. They're on track to be the first $1 trillion stock, which is pretty amazing. So Jeff Bezos, he sort of does this whole business thing where he's just, going for market share. He makes all his investors wait very patiently. There's not a lot of dividends coming out, but he's just getting bigger and bigger and really just spreads out and covers all these different markets and niches. And then personally, he's quite an interesting character. So he's investing a lot in space exploration, but he won't play nicely with Elon Musk. He's doing his own thing. And he's just quite a strong character. So when he wants to do something, he really goes for it.